And this one is digesting machine, and this one is automatic transfer machine. So all this so we will test you everything. Where was your graduation? This one
his ESCO member, I have a very great vision to ensure that NATI has an estate wherever the position of that particular estate might be in Nigeria. We are very much sure that we can give them a very great coverage by financing this particular housing unit, not only financing the housing unit, also individual member that belong to NATI. We are there also to ensure that apart from you even living in these particular houses, we can also ensure that you can be able to make an housing or property for investment purposes. We believe so strongly that by one day everybody will retire, and while we retire, this particular landed bank or this particular property can be able to give us an income to the end of our time. And I believe so strongly with partners that you can trust, with AG Mortgage Bank, and also with our honorable president of this particular professional body and his ESCO member, we won't defer ourselves from further intensify our discussion with them with respect of making this particular dream of making an estate for NATE, wherever area it might be in the location of Nigeria possible. We are AG Mortgage Bank, PLC, a partner you can trust. Our vision is to provide a best-in-class mortgage solution to all Nigerian citizens, even including the NATE professional. I am very happy, appreciate this particular opportunity you've given to us to speak to a professional body like this. We believe so strongly in a shorter period of time, everyone here will have a shelter either to residents, either to also do for an investment. We are there for you to make it happen. Thank you so much for giving this particular opportunity. Thank you, sir.
are you dealing with professional body, or with individual?
Individual, sir. That's why I said individual
and professional
body.
Okay. He's dealing with both individual and professional body, so you can ask him any question or deal with him directly, or if you need any help, please you can contact him. And if you need his number, is still very much available. Thank you. All right. A round of applause, please. Also, before I will call the chairman of this occasion, our member in Abuja, Nigeria Association of Technologists in Engineering, in collaboration with FCT Department of Science, Technology and Innovation, they are able to produce some notebooks, some jotters in the name of NATE, the Technologists from Abuja. So NATE is improving, NATE is improving. Please, we have their stand with them if you want to know more about it or you need a copy. Thank you. At this junction, let me now invite the chairman of this afternoon session into the podium, who happened to be the immediate past VP of North Central, Importer of Technologies, Ahmed M. Bazay, F. Nati, to please come to the podium for this session. Technology Bazay, please, we are waiting for you. Technologist Bazay from North Central. From North Central, we are waiting for you. Okay. While waiting for him, also the president is not around, but the deputy president is available. Once I cite him, I will bring him to the podium. Technologist Bazay, please, we are waiting for you. He's coming. Please, a round of applause for him. He's coming now. A round of applause for him, please, as he's coming. Uh, just anywhere there. So, okay, you can see this side. Let me call our rapporteur. We have two of them here. Technologists MS Bello and Technologists Ogechi Okereke Ogbona. MS Bello, where are you? Please come forward. Ogechi Okereke, where are you? Please come forward. They were rapporteur, they were recorder. The paper is on application of machine learning techniques in modeling soil plasticity index. So let me hand over to the chairman of this session.
Ladies and gentlemen, Nate!
Design, build, and maintain.
Design, build, and maintain.
Nothing.
Well, the paper is presented an application of machine learning techniques in modeling soil plasticity index by Akinwade Joshua. Sorry for the what the machine setting learning will actually be justified by the presenter and we listen to him really have our questions ready and we will do justice to whatever he has presented. Thank you, gentlemen. Presenter, please. It's an option that is here. What of the paper? Presenter, we need a copy for the community.
You said it didn't. You said it. You give it soft copy. You said it didn't.
I think they had it on. Don't they have the abstract?
No.
So we print it for paper. Two of them. This one and the other paper.
Yes.
Microphone.
And how are you doing too much? Are we going to see? Are we going to see? No, you have to do that. One thing is
Hello. As the chairman of this very occasion, I want you to be very, very precise because engineering requires precision and timing. Please present your paper as timely as possible, as good as 30 minutes, so that we can now argue on the paper. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I want to appreciate the national president and the minister of this conference for giving me the privilege to stand before you. I'll be looking at the application of machine learning techniques in modeling soil plasticity index. When we talk about machine learning techniques, talk about modeling, we are talking about an equation, a formula to predict a particular soil parameters. Before now, you will all agree with me that we deal with manual ways of getting data, particularly during project execution, particularly at the preliminary stage, which have effect on the delivery time of the project. So if you now have a model for a particular region or a location, it will help us fast track the, the planning, the design process at design stage to take decision as at when due and to go into execution of such project, particularly when we come to field of civil engineering. In field of civil engineering, we particularly this area I'm looking at to technique, soil. We all believe that we cannot build on the air or on water. We definitely, any infrastructure we are bringing in must actually rest on soil. And if it's to rest on soil, it's important the geotechnical parameters are available so as to take decision that is necessary as at that time of execution of that project. Yes, the having these models will help us, the relevant stakeholders in the field of engineering, that is particularly civil engineering, to mitigate the following factors that might affect our preliminary stage, might affect our execution of project at the preliminary stage. Number one, why do we need to model? Why do we need to do prediction? Number one, high cost of the technical equipment, high cost for laboratory and field technical testing, the time normally consumed by laboratory experimentation, non-availability of skilled laboratory and field technical technicians and technologists. Gradually by the day, the number is reducing. And it is important that all stakeholders must come together and start building up database, particularly models for regions, location, districts, that will help execution of engineering projects. Yes, we use index property as input variable for this prediction. Index properties such as natural moisture content, specific gravity, sieve analysis. In the sieve analysis, we were able to look at the percentage of sand, percentage of gravel, percentage of clay. All these parameters are the input variable to determine the PI, that is plasticity index. You all agree with me, particularly the civil engineer in the house, that plasticity index of a soil has a longer way to tell us what to do in a particular area, particularly for the suitability of such material, either for roadwork or for foundation. So it is important. That is why I'm looking at predicting it ab initio. When we have a project in place and the model is available, we can determine the PI of that area that will form our decision at that preliminary stage. 480 samples were taken. If it is taken as a case study, we took the sample randomly from the 3 senatorial districts. 480 samples, which means for each senatorial district, I took 160 samples. For the 3 senatorial districts, we now have 480 samples. As you know, machine learning is a subset. Machine learning is a subset of AI, artificial intelligence. And under machine learning, we have 4 learning techniques. But under the 4 learning techniques, we are using only supervised learning. Supervised learning. So we use supervised learning, go to the site and take the sample and analyze in the lab, then we now input into the software. The software used is R software. R software. As I said, under machine learning, we have supervised learning, unsupervised learning, reinforced learning, and deep learning. But for this study, we are looking at supervised learning. We adopted supervised learning to carry out this research. And under supervised learning, we are able to use 5 techniques random forest, MS3, artificial neural network, support vector machine, multilinear regression were used. In the past, other researchers are using only artificial neural network to take decisions. But this research, we are not saying that it is not possible to use just a yardstick to take decisions, to predict. We use 5 machine learning techniques and we now compare their results, and we are able to come out with the best machine learning tools that can help us predict the soil parameter. The comparative metric we use, the comparative development model uses statistical parameters as coefficient correlation, root relative square error, mean absolute error, root mean square error, and relative absolute error. These are the statistical performance metrics we use to measure the performance of the model. The results. The result of central senatorial district classified the soil into 4 classes. As you know, index property is to tell us the class of the soil, the texture, the nature of the soil, and vis-a-vis the applicability, the area, the usage. So we classify the soil in the region as clay of low compressibility, clay of high compressibility, according to USS, while actual classification system classified as 84, 86, 87, 876 with some grade rating of excellent to good and fair to poor respectively. Sorry, I want to go to my final findings. Before the findings, we were after running the data. As you know, in machine learning, we have input variables and output variables, and we have testing and training. 30% for testing and 70% for training. After the training, we have as you know, we determine the actual data from the laboratory, and we will not get the predicted data from the machine. We now compare the two and determine the percentage, the error, and the error was found very, very excellent. According to statistics, the percentage error, that is the residual error between the predicted and the observed, must not be more than 5%. From the foregoing, it is concluded that the strength of the developed model after comparison in terms of regression coefficient and root mean square error value, it is established that all the machine learning model techniques predict PI, that's capacity index, close to the experimental value. However, the prediction of PI by random forest is found better compared to other techniques evaluated. Recommendation. Soil generally must not be taken for granted in road design and construction in Nigeria. Rather, an in-depth study should be undertaken to further give proper understanding of soil available within the catchment area of the project. 2. To achieve the above, work ministry, the federal and state government, as well as work department, the local government, to set up research units specifically for local soil used as construction material. Soil units should be well funded to engage in investigation and in-depth study on such local soil and other materials. Relevant engineering departments of universities, polytechnics, and other research-oriented institutions domiciliary within the road catchment area may be involved in such studies. This may be more result-oriented since such departments and their operatives are likely to be more familiar with or knowledgeable about peculiarities of such phenomena in such area. Results of such studies should be made available to consultants and contractors operating in the area. Fiscal research should also look into the estimation of shell parameters of the studied area using machine learning techniques implication for foundation work. Random forest techniques hereby recommended for modeling plasticity index of soil. Since it has proved better in terms of the R scale compared to other four statistical tools used to judge this result, random forest is hereby recommended for prediction of plasticity index in that region. And also, the model developed is a regional based model. As you know, that soil has variability. Soil based from region to region. So it is a region-based model that can be used for any fisher researchers, fisher consultants that want to work in this study area. Thank you.
Latte. Design, build, and maintain. Well, gentlemen and ladies, the paper presenter has made his clarification based on what he actually wanted to present to us. From my little understanding, technology is an application of the sciences. So what we technologists do is the application of this same modeling he's talking about. The random forest he suggested is a model situation where we can see to both agricultural and constructional applications. In agriculture, this enables us to determine locations for our various crops to have better yields. In construction, he is talking about soil tests dependent on locations. He has taken samples from 3 different senatorial districts of the state, which he resulted in some figures. The essence of having those figures is to allow the states and the federal agencies that are coming to work in the state to have a quick applications of what they want to do in the state. So the paper presenter, we thank you so much for your assessments, all your analysis, and we hope both the federal and the state government will utilize your modeling techniques. Thank you very much.
Design, build, and maintain. Please, members, we have 5 minutes for a corporate body who want to speak to us about mortgage estates developing, and we just want to give them 5 minutes.
Let's finish the paper.
Sorry. That if there's any questions, sorry. Questions from what the lecturer has done. Questions. Prof. Can anybody just assist us in giving mic to me?
This is just like an observation. During the presentation, most of us were not actually listening to what was going on. We don't know, maybe because this thing was not projected. But my question is so simple. We are technologists. There are so many theories in research, so many publications, and we have not seen the usefulness of these publications in Nigeria engineering. So what is the purpose of this research to technologists in Nigeria?
Thank you, sir. My leader, sir. The purpose of this research is to apply. As I've said, the model is a regional-based model that the consultant, the constructor, the contractors coming into an area is normally a problem. As a civil engineer, when we get to a new area, we go into bush, we site borrow pits, we do a lot of work, preliminaries, which should take longer period, particularly geotechnical testing involve detailed laboratory analysis before we can arrive at a particular decision for whoever that want to use it. So when we have enough data in our data panel, we have enough information in our data panel, visual engineer, visual contractor, visual company that might want to come to an area, it will help as a guide, as a check, as first-hand information for that particular area. Thank you, sir.
Happy design, build, and maintain for progress. Thank you very much, sir. Technologist, Lagos State chapter. Sir, the topic is a very nice one. Modeling before construction or installation. As a contractor, because I see that the lecture gears towards assisting those of the ministries, government parastatals that are constructing roads and stuff like that. As a contractor that is also building, how will this be relevant to me? For instance, I want to build a structure like this. How can I model or find out those things that you have mentioned so that it will help me to construct such a building? Because you see in Nigeria there are so many building collapses. How can it be relevant to individuals like us? Thank you.
Thank you, sir. The first thing is that soil. In this experiment, we did what we call soil classification. That is index property. Index property will tell us the true nature, the true picture of soil in that area by classification. We have two classifications for ASHO and for USS, Unified Soil Classification System, that is for foundation. ASHO, American Association of State Highway Transport Officials, that is for road. And the first one, we can use it for foundation, dam, bridges, jetties, and harbor. That will help us to take decisions. Once you know the inner property of the soil, that is particularly what I look at this afternoon, that is the plasticity. The higher the plasticity, the more the problem. The higher the plasticity, the more the problem. That is compressibility we have. And during design, the structural engineer take note of sediment. So it is important when you have this information at the design stage, it is helpful for the structural engineer to know what to do in terms of settlement and depth of excavation. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Design you and maintain. My own name is Technologist. I dare to work in the IDP. In the course of your presentation, you make mention of the various type of model that you apply in arriving at your results. My own question is, how do you arrive at that particular type of model, and what is the advantage over other techniques that is available? What are the yardstick? Thank you.
When we look at this is AI, artificial intelligence, and I said this, the machine learning is a subset of AI. And machine learning require huge data for analysis, and that is why I went for 480 samples, because the smaller, if the data are small, as scanty, it will not give us a better correlation. And that is why we require high huge data to run AI tools. So, and I said I use 5 machine learning techniques under supervised learning. 5, so as to do comparison. Before now, we normally use multiple linear regression. And that is what previous researchers have been using. And they also use neural network. They use neural network to take decisions. But as a researcher, we cannot rest on that. And that's why I bring 5 with the one they have used and the new one to compare their results. And when we compare their results, it is observed that random forests perform better than the neural network and even the multiple linear regression that are being used more than 5 decades of even 6 decades ago, because it is a new technology. And I said, as we got that, there's what we call PCA, Principal Component Analysis. So we use PCA to do what we call multicollinearity. That is, data must not resemble one another. Data, so as to have a better judgment. So multicollinearity helps to cancel out, to remove the relationship. So before we run that, after running that, we remove the relationship between them. We now judge them individually, so as to get a better decision. So those are the process that the model pass through before we could arrive at this level. Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, my emeritus president.
My name is Ahmad Muhammad Dara. The first question here, I think the first person that asked the question, they asked a question of which she didn't answer it well. And that is what is prompting all these second attacks. What is the purpose and the relevance of this research to technologists?
Thank you, my emeritus president. The relevance is, one, to make data available. If data is not available, we will not be able to work. For both the technologists and engineers and technicians and even all other current consumers that are in the practice of engineering. So the data must be available for the first stakeholders if they are to deliver their work effectively. So if there's no data, you will not be able to work. And I'm talking about engineering, economy, and economy must save time. Engineering must work to save time. When the project is planned and the community is important, all necessary things to start analysis. And the moment we have issue in executing, waiting for results from lab, waiting for for surveyor to give us data, waiting, time will be going and to affect the overall profit of the project. So the data must be available, my president, for execution of project, for the technologists, for the engineer, for the technician, and for the other force members. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Adewale. I think something like that because this is research and learning for more work to be done of also to the local professors. Dr. Adewale is there, or Professor Flowers is there, research and learning for you to be done. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you very much, paper presenter, and the people that actually asked questions. The question the first person gave was, what is the implication of this same research on the technology? You actually answered the question. The answer that you actually mentioned is that you have made available the data for a specific project. Well, the way I look at it, in my own perspective, I looked at the entire solution as a regional solution, or may I call it a state solution, because your research is centered on your state. So, since the research is on your state, but the modeling is what you're talking about. So this same modeling situation can now be applied in various states to determine the same kind of result you are thinking of. Is that also?
Yes, that's it.
So, in a nutshell, we thank you very much for your research, and I hope other states will use the same methodology to come up with some research solutions. This will actually help out our contractors. I believe, as a field man, contractors look for what? Will one. They want to also go for the testing and whatever. But with what you're trying to do now, you want them not to get that in one. So the contractors will not be happy with you. So technology actually has to be applied. We agree. Contractors should have a leverage that you have now gotten a simpler way of getting your results. So from what you have actually done for us, we thank you very much immensely that other members will apply the same to their states and come up with good solutions. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you very much, sir. Please, just 2 minutes or 5 minutes for the manual professors on the estate issue. Please, sir. I would like to see the manual on the estate issue professors.
Thanks so much, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, once again. With respect to maybe me that I just coming in. My name is Johnson Igwepo. I'm from AG Morgan Bank PLC on behalf of the MD CEO and the staff management of AG Morgan Bank PLC. We are AG Morgan Bank into the business of financing mortgages and also financing construction. We believe so strongly that despite the deficit of numbers of housing units in Nigeria, that does not mean that everyone in his own state of mind or in his own state of income should not have a particular affordable house on his own head. So as a result, we believe so strongly as our business is to individual and also to the professional alike, like NETA. We have believed so strongly, like I said earlier, that the president and also the VP and all the board members are having vision for NETA in respect of having their own estates. And we believe that wherever the places might be, the location they want to buy this particular property in Nigeria, we can stand behind them to ensure this particular dream comes to pass. Because this is what we do within our business permissible. And likewise, every individual that is sitting under my influence of my voice, likewise, as a mortgage bank also, we can be able to finance you to the level of your own certain level of status or financial income, in order for you also to make sure that you have a housing unit over your head. We believe so strongly that anywhere that this particular body wanted to have this particular estate sited, we can be able to bankroll. I believe so much in the present and the victory that there are dreams concerning having this particular estate for this particular body is very possible with us as AD Mortgage Bank PLC to finance it for us. Thank you so much, sir, once again for giving the opportunity. If there are any questions for us, we can be able to answer adequately. Thank you so much, sir.
Nothing. I don't know if there's any question for members to. Okay, somebody's raising up hand here.
Good afternoon. My name is Adekoye Francis. I'm from Lagos branch. I would like to ask a question.
Yes, sir.
Concerning what you said. Like some of us that work under companies, we have some deduction which is national housing fund.
Yes, sir.
In regard to what you just explained,
Yes, sir.
is there any way that some of us that have been saving money or some of our money have been saving money to? Is there any way we can gain
Energize
from
it.
your, according to your bank? Because recently I heard that it's no longer mandatory.
Yes.
And some of us still have funds there. So maybe you can share light on this. Probably you can know how to move forward.
Yeah, fantastic question. Thanks so much, sir. With respect of the NHA, which is for National Housing Fund, I believe so strongly that everyone sitting under influence of my voice will be a contributor in one way or the other before it is being liberated that it is no longer maybe a proportion contribution within Nigerian space. What we believe so strongly is that that money in the administration as it was being established is as a savings scheme that by the time you are turning 60 years old, you can go to the Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria and collect your savings with certain level of an interest element. But at a certain time in 1990, by the act of the Federal Government of Nigeria, it was energized that this particular fund, which is being a pool fund now, everyone who is a contributor can now subscribe to that fund as a loan request in order for them to purchase property. And this particular process is only being enabled through mortgage bank like AG Mortgage Bank PLC. Like I said earlier, this is our 19 years. We have been providing housing units and housing shelter for Nigerian citizens. By next year, we should be 20 years in this particular business. So, with respect to the National Housing Fund, you can make a request to us, to Federal Mortgage Bank, one, to purchase property. Now, the cap of that particular fund has been enhanced. Before, the cap is 15 million naira, but it has been enhanced to 50 million naira, probably because of the economic indices of the reality of where we are at this particular moment. Initially, it was cap of 15 million naira that anybody can be able to get. You can't get more than 15 million naira. But as of now, you can get up to 50 million naira. So you can request, because you can start requesting to back to the loan if you already been a contributor for 6 months. Let me just explain that particular 6 months. Maybe in your organization you have been contributed just for 6 months, irrespective of how much you have already contributed. For example, if you already contributed 100,000 naira and the housing unit you wanted to buy is around 12 billion naira, you can make a request because you already contributed for 6 months. What we are going to do is, it's not because of your 100,000 naira you contributed over 6 months. That is why they want to give you 12 months. I mean 12 million naira to purchase that property. Why they are giving you 12 million to purchase the property is based on your financial status. Meaning that what is your take home at any point in time. That is what they use to assess you. But if you are not 6 months in contribution, you have to wait for 6 months before you can be able to write a request to that particular body for loan to purchase property. And aside from that, likewise, you will have also had maybe ongoing, started from last year, that RSA, which is Retirement Savings Account, you can get 25% of this particular funding for those who have been in pension that have been contributed to pension. 25% of your total balance as an equity contribution for the purchase of your property. Some of us who have been meeting us, some of them have up to like maybe 30 million naira, and they want to buy a property of about 45 million naira, meaning there's a differential of 15 million naira. As a mortgage bank, we give you the differential of that 15 million naira plus your own 30,000 naira, that 25% of your RSA balance, we add it together for you and purchase that particular property. That is massively ongoing now, and I believe so much that individual here, they might want to take that particular opportunity of using 25% of their RSA, or probably want to go by the way of National Housing Fund, and for the NETA as it together as a professional body, there's a particular also a platform we call cooperative development housing loan, to the extent that NECA can apply through us to Federal Mortgage Bank for a minimum of 1 billion naira or more than that to start their own project of their housing unit, in which everyone under the NECA can be able to subscribe to the housing unit in whatever location that particular housing estate can be located. I don't know, sir, maybe I'd rather answer your question about 2 minutes, sir. Thanks so much, God bless.
I don't know if there's another question. There's none. Oh, someone is waiting over.
Okay, sir. Thanks.
I still remain my humble self.
Thanks, sir.
I know your explanation is very more of those who are contributors.
Yes, sir. If you are here.
What other requirements? How can one qualify?
Okay, sir.
What are the
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Doctor is asking what other requirement. Like I said, you must be a 6-month contributor to the pool of the National Housing Fund. Is that what you're saying? Or the retired savings? If you are not a contributor, okay, fine. If you are not a contributor, either you are having your own business or maybe you are individual, what we do for you is that we help facilitate you to register with Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria. For those who are running their own business, what we will make them to understand that you can decide how much of what you have in a month that you want to be contributing into that particular scheme. Like I already said earlier, what you are contributing does not determine what you are going to really take as a loan. What determines what you are going to take as a loan is your net income. That is, what is your financial take home at the end of the month. That's what determines what you can be able to request as a loan to purchase property. But as a business venture or as an individual, we can facilitate you to register with Federal Mortgage Bank of Nigeria, sign off all the documents, and at a particular point in time, you remit. For example, there's a particular organization we just registered them now. They are not into the scheme before. They registered them, and individual decided they want to be contributing 3,000 naira into the scheme. And we know by the next 6 months, those particular people will be ready to request for a loan to purchase a property which one of our developers is doing down there in Lagos. So this is how you can do it, sir. You can register, you can talk together to facilitate it to be more efficient. Not even that I ask you to go there. You don't want to go back and forth. We can hold your hands and go to the organization and help you to do those particular registration. They will give you a card in which every month you can be remitting through remitter into the account, and you will have a USSD that will be representing how much you are remitting at a particular point in time. I don't know, somebody will answer it. Thanks so much, sir. Appreciation.
Thank you. Still have questions?
After me, sir.
My name is Nadia.
Okay, sir.
Interest.
Interest. Okay, sir.
Because it is
Okay. Okay, sir. Okay, sir. Now, engineer is asking in respect of interest you need to pay with respect to the National Housing Fund loan. If you are not going to be using it to purchase property, probably want to wait till when you are 60 years old to collect your savings. It is only 2% that you will be paying on that particular any amount that you must have contributed over your working years. But if you are using that particular opportunity to energize to take a loan for Federal Mortgage Bank, that is the cheapest loan in Nigeria as of today. It is 6%. And that 6% is through the number of your repayment year. What does repayment year mean? For example, maybe you are already 40 years, you're already 55 years. For some people now, maybe they are doctors, they are already maybe extended to 75 years for them. Meaning if you are a doctor, you are now maybe 55, meaning you have about maybe 10 years more for you to make repayment of your housing and loan request. But if you are 40, you have 20 years to pay. If you are maybe 35, you have a longer year to pay. The maximum year of that repayment is 30 years. So it is better probably sometime you key to it one time, you can discuss with us. We have all of our opportunity of maybe developers all over, and even here as you are sitting here, there are certain developer here, contractor, technologists, engineer that are on many sites that you might want to really onboard yourself with us because we have certain number of client base in which we can be able to introduce to you in order to buy some of this particular housing unit for you. But we also looking forward the day the letter also will be buying their property and it will be now be recognized as it is being financed by Technologist Bank PLC. Thanks so much, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Okay. May I have the singular honor of the chairman of this section to close this section down that will meet you tomorrow. Mr. Chairman, sir.
Thank you very much. Having heard from our federal mortgage, okay, the bank, mortgage bank representative, I believe most of us will now have to come in and take up the mortgage loan so that we should have our houses. So we thank you immensely for listening to the paper, and I believe we will meet
Your contact.
again, continue the next paper.
Hey.
Thank you very much.
Your contact. People ask for your contact. That's your contact. Your contact. They are asking for contact.
Please, you can write down my phone number. It's 080 33 85 1222. I'll repeat again. It's 080 33 85 1222. My name is Johnson Icon. Again, it's 080 33 851 222. That's 322. Johnson Icon, Regional Executive, AG Bank PLC, Nigeria. Thanks so much, brother.
Thank you very much. Until you tomorrow. Also prayer by every president. Every president.
Take.
Close for us. MS, close.
Closing prayer. O God of creation, direct our noble causes. Guide our leaders right, help our youth the truth to know. In love and honesty we grow. Great lofty height to attain to build a nation where peace and justice shall reign.
Amen. Father, you know, I said here, God bless you. Over 60 years, God bless you.
What is this guy? I don't know what this jacket is on. I don't know the time my placenta will have placenta. Me, I know. What is this guy?